This is another episode of The Blossom Podcast, your number one source for everything bariatric surgery, from pre-op to post-op. Registered dietitian Alex Conception gives you real, raw tips and motivation through your journey. This is The Blossom Podcast.
Hello guys, welcome back to The Blossom Podcast. We are back and it is 2021. Happy New Year. I just decided to come on and say what's up before we start kicking things off again this year, because I have been unplugged from social media since December, and that is more for my mental health. I did watch a documentary and I started reading some books just to reflect on life, just to get things right in my head, because when you get your mind right, then you can get your grind right. We do this whole process, this whole journey, everything that I put out is in pursuit of health and wellness, happiness, and of course not at risk for chronic illness related to weight. But that all can't happen unless you have your mind right. And we all face struggles. All of the consultations I have boils down to what is expected of us because of society, but what really makes us happy. And in this documentary, it's called The Social Dilemma. I encourage you guys to check it out. It's really cool on Netflix. It really points out how easily influenced that we are and how we are so socially divided, and we have never been so divided before. Of course, in the last year, we've had COVID that really allowed us to get into our minds, into our heads, and with the influence of everything else out there, we are influenced even more because of these programs and these softwares that highlight and enforce all of those negative thoughts, and I wanted to get away of the digital distraction, the digital deluge, that creates this digital dementia, and it was really refreshing, so I needed that for myself, and that's why I decided to unplug and get into my own thoughts and be able to think critically, think what I believe is ethically without the influence outside, and get refreshed. So it's 2021. Happy New Year. I encourage you guys to do the same, because it really can be detrimental with everything moving down, even including your weight loss journey and your physical journey. The question is why, and why are you comparing yourself to anybody else, or why do you feel that you need to be in a certain place at a certain time relative to surgery, when all of that doesn't matter? It all boils down to the influence on everybody else, and not that it's bad to have social media. I have it. I'm back. I told you. It's just that we tend to focus on the negative. We have this selective hearing, and we start questioning ourselves based off everybody else. And of course, like I said, when you start looking things up, the software, the pixels, Facebook, all of those things start throwing all of that propaganda at you with a very biased approach. Okay, so any negative thought that you have, it is definitely reinforced. So that's why I want to unplug a little bit, start getting into reality, getting into my life, being aware and being in the moment, because we can't get this time back. We can't get this time back. Even when you are with your family and you are there, you are actually not present cognitively, because you are still looking at your phone. You are still looking at the likes and the emails, everything that pops up. I even started taking things off of my reminders or notifications, because again, there's that digital deluge. It distracts us with everything in life. You're sitting at, in a restaurant, now that we can sit in restaurants, right? You look at the other tables and the kids that are there buried into their phone, not engaging in conversation. So that bothered me, and that's why I decided to unplug again and just become aware and become in the moment and live in the moment and enjoy life a little bit, So with that being said, that's where I've been. Okay, but now I'm back. If you have seen me on social media, it's just pretty much in the private group with Blossom, doing the live Q&As and things like that, because that's also how we connect with everybody and with the community, and to grow the community and adding value as well. So using those platforms for positivity and getting the information that you guys want, just like this podcast as well. So I guess you can say this is the next season, right? It is 2021. We have a lot of changes, a vaccine that people are taking for COVID now, and hopefully we will be essentially normal, whatever that means, here very soon in Las Vegas. The restrictions have decreased. It's still not that much in terms of social distancing, 35% instead of 25% occupancy, but now you don't have to make reservations and you can have 6 people to a table. I guess it's a win, right? You have to celebrate those wins as well, but now we get to socialize, we get to enjoy more moments and not be stuck in the house, quarantined, right? So I hope you guys have been able to take this last year to grow and reflect as well, and taking that time if you did have to work at home or not work, growth, personal growth, development, mental health. That's what it's about. We'll talk about that more, but on another episode. But we have been working on lining up quite a bit of awesome interviews and guests, so stay tuned for that. Different value that we can bring to the table, mental health wise, physical health wise, experiences, patience, and I'm sure there's a bunch of stories that you guys would love to hear. Yeah, without further ado, welcome back to the Blossom Podcast. Happy New Year. It is 2021. Let's make it a great one. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next. We will be more frequent with the podcast as well. I want to put out more material, and I have a whole hit list that I've been working on topics and questions that I've been asked that I want to not just answer one person, but I want to answer to everybody else that's listening. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. And if you do have questions, if you are curious, if you haven't made that step to bariatric surgery, give us a call, 855-BLOSSOM, or jump on the website, blossom.com, inquire. We are there. And of course, we have our social medias as well, the Facebook and Instagram. So reach out. We want to hear from you, and we want to answer your questions. All right, guys, take care. Love you. Peace.
This was another episode of the Blossom Podcast. For more motivation and future episodes with Alex, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any life-changing moments.